Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. It is Wednesday, the 19th day of December, National Hard Candy Day, also National Oatmeal Muffin Day. And I've got a quote for today from Jackson Brown Jr. It says, 20 years from now, you'll be more disappointed by the things that you didn't do than by the things you did do. So throw off the bowlines, sail away from the safe harbor, catch the trade winds in your sails, explore, dream, discover. I think that was actually to like a graduating class.
It's a very long one.
It is a long quote, but it is a good quote. Also, I've got a great guest coming up. Dr. Carol Osborne literally has written the book on holiday pet tips. I think the books are, there's one about things for cats, and there's a different book about things for dogs. So there's a book for dog lovers and cat lovers. But today we're going to talk about holiday pet tips with Dr. Carol Osborne. That's on the way. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Want to honor a veteran? Consider giving to Veterans Tickets Foundation, a national nonprofit who supports our currently serving military, veterans, and family members of those we've lost in action by providing them with free tickets to sporting events, concerts, performing arts, and family activities. VetTix is dedicated to giving back to those who gave us so much. Learn how you can help at vettix.org. VetTix.org.
Now, is it a golf course or is it a rehab center? Heidi, tell me, is this a golf course or a rehab center? Reflections Bay, Henderson, Nevada. Is that a golf course or a rehab center?
That is a golf course.
Reflections Bay. It is a golf course.
We've done that one before. That's how I knew
have.
that one.
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure we have, so I don't know why I'm getting that one again, but thank you, I guess. All right, coming up, we've got your brain on drugs. This has been Is It a Golf Course or Is It a Rehab Center? Brought to you by TimeForRehab.com. We're getting to the time of year where we start planning for holiday parties and other events that often include alcohol. I encourage you to have some alcohol-free options as well. And if you are drinking, be sure to have a designated driver. If you or someone you know has a problem with drugs or alcohol, there is help. TimeForRehab.com would love to connect you with someone who can be there for you or that loved one. If you feel like it's time to finally get the help you need, we're here for you. TimeForRehab.com. That's TimeForRehab.com. And this is your brain on drugs. A Victoria, Canada police constable says officers had a, quote, very scary encounter with an impaired driver during a roadside check-in. The officer said on Twitter the man tried to give him a hamburger instead of a driver's license. What? That's not how it works. I think we got another story later in the program about a hamburger, too. But LaPierre said, that's the guy, the officer, he said the man was so impaired that he could not provide a breath sample. They also said the driver almost struck an officer on his approach. They say that they've stepped up roadblocks to catch drug and alcohol-impaired drivers during the holidays, and they found two other alleged impaired drivers over a 2-day period, both involved in collisions. So, yeah, be careful out there. And here's the thing. I understand this time of year, we've been to how many now? 3 Christmas parties already? Mm-hmm. We got more. We got like 6 more to go.
Can we talk about one of them in particular?
Later in the program, yes. But we've had several, and in many cases, alcohol is involved. Have a designated driver. I mean, just do that. It's such a good idea. I want you to get home safe. It's a terrible idea. Always a terrible idea to drink and drive, so don't do that. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show. Now, big screen, little screen, ratings for Keeping Up with the Kardashians have fallen by 37% this season. I didn't even know that was still on. I've never watched it, so Heidi, is that going to change your viewing habits on anything?
No.
Okay. Just
not at all.
Make sure. Speaking of the Kardashians, Kanye West, he's married to one of the Kardashians. He shared a photo that shows him speaking with a talking tree at the Botanical Garden in Miami. What?
I don't know.
I'm going to just move on. And Hollywood insiders say the Queen movie, Bohemian Rhapsody, has a shot at an Oscar. It really should, because I went to that. It was a great movie. I could see them winning an Oscar for that.
Probably.
And I've not really heard a lot of people who didn't like the movie. Like, there were some people that didn't like parts of the movie, but, for the most part, I think it was pretty darn good. This has been Big Screen, Little Screen. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Every day, approximately 23 U.S. military veterans take their own lives. Big Paws Canine Foundation is helping to decrease that number, providing service and companion dogs to our disabled veterans and first responders injured in the line of duty. Partnering a hero with a specifically trained dog significantly reduces the incidence of suicide, and your support makes all the difference. Find out how you can help our American heroes. Join the pack at BigPawsCanine.com.
Now your scoop of the day brought to you by FunkyMonkeyShirts.com. The Chinese government is offering their citizens $86,000 to snitch on people who are watching pornography. So that must be illegal there or something.
It must be. And I don't know how much, I mean, is that $86,000 our money or $86,000 their money?
I don't know how much that is. You know, I know $86,000
And how would you come up
here.
with $86,000?
That is kind of a weird number. You'd think it, well, I'll just be nice. I had a different amount that it would have been. But so they're going to encourage people to snitch on people who are watching pornography. First of all, that's usually something that's kind of a private thing. So I don't know how they're going to know. But I wonder if it's because they're like using up a lot of bandwidth on the internet. You think that's why? I don't know. That is such a weird. There's a link to it if you want to read it, and I just don't want to click on anything with the word pornography in it, so not interested. A video has gone viral of some puppy dogs. And it was a whole bunch of puppy dogs. A whole pack of dogs, maybe even wild dogs, were running across an Arizona highway during rush hour. So people were just driving along, minding their own business, and all of a sudden dogs come pouring out of nowhere. That's kind of weird. Sounds like something you'd see in a movie, though, doesn't it?
Like wolves?
No, like dogs. Like just
dogs.
A bunch of dogs. And they don't know if they're wild dogs or just a bunch of dogs that got out. Maybe they made a break for it in the dog pound. Who knows? Bunch of dogs. But the video's gone viral. A Vermont principal has pled guilty to videotaping female students in his home. What? What is that all about?
So were the students in his home, or did he have hidden cameras like in their homes and was videotaping them from his home?
I don't really understand what that means.
I don't know why they would have been in his home.
Videotaping students in his home. So it sounds like the students were in his home. Were you ever in your principal's house?
No.
Were you ever in any of your teachers' homes?
Just my home ec teacher.
So what were you doing in your home ec teacher's
She made
home?
me a dress. She made me a beautiful dress.
Well, that's kind of cool. And nothing to report to the authorities?
No.
Okay, good.
I hired her to make a dress.
Oh, okay. She didn't have to turn herself in after that. Things are different today. It's just very bizarre. So, again, that happened in Vermont. Meghan Markle is in the news now. She's being criticized for the way she's holding her baby bump at the British Fashion Awards. People will complain about anything, won't they? I didn't know there was a wrong way to be pregnant, but apparently she was holding her baby bump wrong. Some say she was cradling her belly in a strange way, and they have nothing better going on in their life than to take time out of whatever they don't do for a living and go online and complain about the way this lady is holding her baby bump. You need a hobby. If you took time to complain about that, seriously, reevaluate your life, figure out what in the world you're doing if you've got that kind of time. Isn't that just crazy?
Yeah, it is.
And one last thing here. Harvey Weinstein sold his New York City apartment for $26 million. A developer plans to completely rebuild the place. So a fixer-upper for $26 million. So I wonder what's wrong with the place. There's a lot of stuff that was going on in the office.
They went through with a black light and decided it's probably just best to...
Let's just let them match and start over. That is crazy. Again, that's Harvey Weinstein's New York City apartment, $26 million, and the developer is going to completely rebuild it. We're going to talk really briefly about this. We mentioned earlier we had a little Christmas party. We got several of them coming up, but this one that we did this weekend was kind of off the hook, wasn't it, Heidi?
It was awesome.
It was. Heidi was the one that planned it, and we're going to do it briefly. It involved taking people, not against their will, but not letting them know where we were going, taking them across state lines to a place that they weren't expecting to go. At one point, one of the people that was with us said, this is no longer an outing, this is a hostage situation. It was a whole lot of fun, and thank you to everybody that participated and have fun with us. Going to get some more fun things coming your way. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Wednesday.
Are you trying to find the perfect gift for someone with a good sense of humor? FunkyMonkeyShirts.com has a good selection of funny t-shirts and more. Some with Christmas themes. One that even replaces the ugly Christmas sweater for your next party. Find some silly shirts at FunkyMonkeyShirts.com. Also, learn how you can sell your own designs to make some extra Christmas cash. There's a link at the bottom of the page at FunkyMonkeyShirts.com. FunkyMonkeyShirts.com. That's FunkyMonkeyShirts.com.
Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show. We have Dr. Carol Osborne. She is a doctor of veterinary medicine. We're going to talk about some holiday tips to make things maybe a little bit safer for your furry friends around the house. First of all, Dr. Osborne, how are you?
I'm just fine, John, and delighted to be talking to you and your pet-loving listeners.
Well, we appreciate you taking the time to chat with us. Now, this time of year, there are things that happen in many households that are a little different than the rest of the time of the year. Like some of us drag a tree into the house. Now, other times of the years, our dogs might use trees for, something else. So when we do drag that tree in the house and we don't want them to use it as their restroom, what are some things we should be doing to maybe get them ready for that?
That's a great topic. And what I always try to tell my clients is try to decorate your home according to the age, activity level, and temperament of your pets and your kids. If they're both young and active, homemade expendable ornaments are great, they're safe, and they make for fun family projects. And
the nice thing about that is it's a way for you to, if you have kids, to work together to make something kind of fun and festive too.
Absolutely. As far as safety, you can use velvet bows instead of hooks to hang your ornaments. Non-breakable pet-proof ornaments are great for your kids as well as your pets. Two-tone ribbon instead of garland, tinsel, and angel hair, which are favorites for cats. Cats love to play with tinsel and angel hair, so if they ingest either, they can actually block and obstruct their intestines. So you don't want to do that. Make sure that the aluminum foil and cellophane candy wrappers are thrown away safely because they can cause vomiting and tummy upsets. Batteries contain all kind of corrosives. They can ulcerate your pet's mouth, tongue, and insides, so you want to keep those away. If you have liquid potpourri sitting around, make sure that your cat's not going to walk by it and take the tail and dump it so it spills on the kitty, because that's pretty toxic too.
Yeah, I never thought of that.
Yeah, electric cords and extension cords are popular to chew on, especially if you have little puppies. So you can hide them in empty wrapping paper tubes. You can cover them up with some cute foil. You can also tape them securely to the floor. And today they make pet-proof extension cords, which is also easy. Remember your candles. They need to be up high, out of paw reach, so you don't start a fire inadvertently. And again, for those kitty owners, you want to make sure that they're not going to use the fireplace for a litter box. So that's a good time to make sure that you have the fireplace screen up and you're prepared for that too.
That is fantastic. So some fun tips right there. We're also, we got you on the line, I think it would be a good idea to talk about people buying gifts for their pet. So when you're buying a gift for your pet, are there some things that we should maybe keep in mind for that as well?
Absolutely. As far as buying pets as gifts, never a good idea. Pets are such a personal item that that's something that has to be the bond and the choice between the pet and the person. But especially for you parents out there, a book, a leash, a collar, a little food bowl, those are great presents to let your little one, for example, know that something special is on the way. You never want to bring a pet home during the holidays because that's usually a pretty hectic time. So it's a great idea to wait until after all the holiday fuss has ended and you've got a nice quiet time so that when you bring that new pet home, you can really focus just on the pet and all the commotion will have subsided.
That's a really good idea. Now, this time of year, it's a little colder than it is the rest of the time of year as well. What can we do to make sure that we keep our pets protected when the temperatures drop and get chilly outside?
Great point. Remember, basically, if it's too cold for you to be outside for more than several minutes, it's too cold for your pet as well. So stay right there. Make sure that your pets go outside, take care of their business, and come back inside. Remember that salt and all the chemicals that we use to remove the ice and snow are very corrosive and caustic. So get your pet a little pair of booties. If booties don't work, there are topical products out today. You could just put on the little foot pads to help protect them. If nothing else, spritz them off with a little water when you come inside. Remember that antifreeze is absolutely a life and death situation. 1 teaspoon is all it takes to kill a 10-pound animal. It's sweet and it smells good. So if you're changing your radiator fluid, if you have a leak, whatever, clean it up really well. Make sure the pets are not around. And also, if you have baits, snails, mice, rats, and things like that, a lot of those are made with peanut butter. Once again, they smell great. So keep an eye on those things so that you don't have an unexpected surprise. Lakes and ponds and rivers, they might look frozen, but a lot of times they're not completely frozen. So it's not a good place to play out there with your kids and your pets because the soft ice can break, and then you're going to have another pet emergency situation.
I appreciate you taking some time. A lot of great tips today. Thank you so much for chatting with us, Dr. Carol.
Well, thank you, John, and I hope all your Pet Living listeners have wonderful, safe holidays.
Again, Dr. Carol Osborne, author and world-renowned veterinarian of medicine. And we're going to throw a link to some information about Dr. Carol if you'd like to read more about her and maybe even find her books. I'll have all of that in the show notes at johnandheidishow.com.
John and Heidi.
If you want to grow your business, you can add more customers or sell more stuff to your current customers or a combination of both. There's no other way to grow your business. Just those two. Add more customers or sell more stuff to your current customers. And if you already have a relationship with your customers and you have their email address, you can reach out to them with special offers to easily grow your sales, and you'll make your customers even happier. Let the experts at Constant Contact help. Get a free trial now. Text Radio Trial to number 22828. That's Radio Trial, all one word, to number 22828.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
President Calvin Coolidge had a childish sense of humor. Believe it or not, the 30th U.S. president thought that it was hilarious to push the emergency buzzer on his desk and then hide when the Secret Service came running in.
Oh, my gosh.
He was also known as Quiet Cal, Calvin Coolidge. And somebody did an interview with him one time. And she said, I bet somebody that I could get you to say more than 2 words. And his 2 words were, you lose.
Yeah, he had a good sense of humor.
They said, you don't say anything, but they bet me I couldn't get you to say more than 2 words, and I took the bet. And he goes, oh, you lose. Thanks for listening to a fun fact on the John and Heidi Show.
FreshPatch.com is making dogs like me happy. They send out real grass pads for us to use indoors. Now when it's cold outside, I can go inside. And when I've used up the real grass patch, the mailman brings me a new Fresh Patch. It's the best idea since doggy treats. Convince your mommy to try it today. I suggest you try Puppy Dog Eyes. FreshPatch.com. Use promo code RADIO to save 10%. That's FreshPatch.com, promo code RADIO.
Time now for the grandiloquent word of the day, and it's gleeamus. What do you think gleeamus is, Heidi?
I don't know, extremely happy.
Gleimous.
Oh.
Gleeamus is slimy and full of phlegm.
Okay.
It's kind of
a little different.
Not so full of happiness. Full of phlegm. Gleeamus. That does not sound good. I don't like that word. We're not going to use that one. That's today's grandiloquent word. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Want to honor a veteran? Consider giving to Veterans Tickets Foundation, a national nonprofit who supports our currently serving military, veterans, and family members of those we've lost in action by providing them with free tickets to sporting events, concerts, performing arts, and family activities. VetTix is dedicated to giving back to those who gave us so much. Learn how you can help at vettix.org. VetTix.org.
Time now for Weird News, brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. Have you seen some of the things on that, by the way?
Yeah, a few of the things.
There's some bizarre stuff
There
on
is
there.
some funny things on there.
Taking a look here to see, what do we have for today? It's a banana phone stand. So it looks like a banana peel, but you put your phone in it. There's just some weird stuff. Very bizarre. Let's take a look at our weird news. Officers at the Port of Newark, made an unusual seizure when they uncovered a shipment of 9,024 pairs of counterfeit Nike shoes. Yeah. So they found a whole lot of shoes. They came from China. And it says here the center consulted with Nike, spotted the telltale signs that the shoes were counterfeit. Customs said the shoes, which would have had a retail value of about $1.65 million, are destined for an address in Chino, California. That's where they were supposed to go. This significant seizure of counterfeit Nike sneakers illustrates Custom and Border Protection's continued commitment to protect the American consumer against proliferation of substandard and potentially unsafe counterfeit custom goods.
There you go.
There you go. That was a pretty long, lengthy way to say we stopped them. All right. Thanks for listening to some weird news on this Wednesday.
John and Heidi.
Now your moment of duh, brought to you by FunkyMonkeyShirts.com. A Kentucky man was caught placing glass shards into shipments of plastic foam cups to go to fast food restaurants, sentenced to 5 years in prison. Why would you do that? Doesn't make any sense at all. 44-year-old Waylon J. Horton pled guilty in July to tampering with consumer products. He was charged in 2016 after a Michigan-based Dart Container Company or Corporation contacted authorities about a possible product tampering involving this man while he was employed there. The prosecutor's office said Horton put glass in cups on 2 separate occasions that were shipped to fast food restaurants. The glass pieces were found in cups at 3 different restaurants in Ohio, Kentucky, and Indiana. Why would you do that? If you don't like your job, quit, man. Why would you send out glass shards to hurt people? That doesn't make any sense. So good news, he's going to prison for a while.
And that's where he belongs. Hopefully he'll straighten himself out.
And maybe he's learned a lesson and won't do that when he gets out. Not good. But that's why it's today's Moment of Duh.
Every day, approximately 23 U.S. military veterans take their own lives. Big Paws Canine Foundation is helping to decrease that number, providing service and companion dogs to our disabled veterans and first responders injured in the line of duty. Partnering a hero with a specifically trained dog significantly reduces the incidence of suicide, and your support makes all the difference. Find out how you can help our American heroes. Join the pack at BigPawsCanine.com.
Time now for fake news or Florida. Heidi, tell me, is this a true story that happened in the great state of Florida, or is it fake news made up to fool you?
Okay.
All right. A Miami woman was arrested for arson after she tried to set her daughter's principal's car on fire. Fake news or Florida?
Florida.
No. Thank goodness this is fake news. I know.
I thought maybe it was the lady who found out he had been taping her kid.
No. There was a story earlier in the program, for those of you that don't understand that. A principal was in Vermont, I believe, was recently arrested for videotaping young girls in his house. So, yeah, that's bad. I could see a mom setting his car on fire.
Oh, absolutely.
But this did not happen. It was just fake news. Thanks for listening. We've got good news on the way.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. It comes your way courtesy of WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. And I love it when there's a story in the good news that involves police officers, because there are too many stories in the regular bad news that you hear all the time about police officers.
There are so many good stories about police officers, so many. And I wish more people would share them.
And I appreciate it when people do, like this one. When cops respond to noise complaint about some friends playing a new Nintendo game, they join in on the fun. How cool is that? It says here, instead of ruining the fun, for a couple of friends who were enjoying a new Nintendo video game, 2 police officers accepted their offer to join in. Jovante Williams had been playing a newly released Super Smash Bros. Ultimate game at his friend's apartment. This is in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and they heard a knock at the door. Local police had been called to the apartment based on a noise complaint from a neighbor. Since Williams says the actual source of the noise was coming from somewhere else in the apartment's complex hallway, the police left. The officers returned a few minutes later, I'm sure after they figured out what the actual noise was. And that's when they offered to have them play Smash, whatever that's called. Smash? Is that what the thing is?
I don't know.
One of the officers says, "What is Smash?" And he explained what the thing was, and they sat down. He says, "Just don't find me if I beat you." So they had a whole lot of fun. He says, "We were pretty good," and one of them was sick with Pikachu. I don't know what that means. Sick with Pikachu, is that good? I am officially old. Ultimately, I'm super happy to post wholesome content and have it go a little viral for the world to watch, he wrote in a comment. So that's what the kid said. So they did a video of these guys playing video games with the police officers. I think that's really cool. I'm very clearly too old to video game stories.
Gosh.
Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show. I have a link to this with the video and all of that. It's in the show notes at johnandheidishow.com.